Hi there, Steph. Thanks for popping by. This is a craft haul and review for October 2016. Let's start with cards. I used some white blank cards and envelopes, A6 format, so 10.5 time 14.8 centimeters. Europe format, let's call it. And it comes with cards and envelope. They're quite good quality. They're not perfect. There's sometimes little marks inside the paper, but no biggie. So they're quite good and pretty affordable. They cost less than £10 for 100 cards. It's pretty good. Then I've seen two people on Instagram use these adhesive Velcro dots to place under Ranger Distress ink pads. I have the large pad, so I can't just tuck in the blending foam. So I thought that was a great idea to kind of keep the foam with the pad and not lose it. So that's really, I did it and I actually think it's really good. And then my crafty friend Ruth was having a distache, and I bought this little clearly visited banner, sorry, from her, as well as the die, and I'm sure will come in handy for a lot of projects. I also bought from her this Concord 9 Christmas tree die. I don't know if you've seen it. It came out last year, and I can't wait to do that for my Christmas table. So a lot of paper craft inside. I also bought a second-hand Altenew stamp set called Sketch Roses, and I've used it a few times. Always good quality stamps, and really cool to color, and really nice to color. Then I bought some Nuvo that was recommended by another crafty person, and they're quite cool. I mean, they are. I only bought two colors. They're pretty affordable. So it's quite a lot in a little jar. I'm sure it will last quite a while. The gold one is quite nice. I mean, it comes out of the little bottle quite sturdy. It's quite steady. Sorry, as you can see, the line is quite good. And then you can do little blobs or little lines. Or I use it a bit like glossy accents. The only difference is that it will stay raised. So bear that in mind. If you go through the post and stuff like that, it could tear the envelope, but that's something to bear in mind, but not necessarily gonna happen. And then I bought the white. I can't remember actually which name it has. It's kind of it has some sort of I think it's pink and greenish glitter in there, something like that. So when you put the gold one onto brown, I think it looks really cool. And the same way, when I put the white-ish one on some green or some pink, I thought it worked really well. One of the things that you can do is to put little drops on a plastic surface, and then once it's dry you can just pop it off and then glue it wherever you want. I suppose it's a good way to prepare them in advance. If you could prepare 2 or 3 different sizes. Me, I like to use them directly on the card. That's just how I do it. But if you wanted them to be dry so that you don't have to wait for the card to dry to send it, then it's nice to have them prepared in advance. So that was a cool product to use. And then I went to Aldi supermarket, and I found this Color Me mask, which was like £1.99, so it was really cheap. And I thought that would be fun for Halloween. I probably won't have time to do most of them, to be honest, because there's quite a lot. The only downside is the first one I've tried turned out to be, I think, to make them strong, they use some sort of plastified paper, and the Copic markers don't work on it, basically. So it's not so great for that side. Anyway, let's move along. I have used at the top my glazed black pen, and I'm just showing you I bought a normal black gel pen. It's very skinny compared to the white gel pen, but it would be great for eyes and stuff, because the glazed pen, the ink comes out too fast, basically. So when you do eyes, they sometimes get a bit too big. If it's big eyes, it's fine, but if it's tiny eyes, the ink may come out too fast, and then your eye may end up being a bit too big, and it might look a bit odd. So I just bought a black gel pen, and it looks quite cool. I've not used it that much so far, but it was okay. Then I bought a white souffle pen, and I have a lot to say about the pen. Souffle in French means kind of puffed up, you know, like that dessert thing. That does not puff up. So me, I was expecting something that I could use for snow, that I would like. I don't know if you use your heat gun on it, it would puff up. I've seen people use that. It's not that at all. Forget that idea if that's what you were thinking. It's not that. Souffle is not a good name for it. It's kind of like the black glaze pen, but it doesn't have that shiny, watery effect to it. So I've let it dry. When you use it at first, it's watery and very light, and as it dries, the white becomes stronger and it becomes proper white. It's quite good because it's juicy. So depending on what you do, it can be really useful and better than a gel pen. But bear in mind when you apply it that the color that you see will get whiter afterwards, depending on the design that you're going for. So that's something I tried, and you may want to try it. You could find a really good use for it, but just not snow, or not a puffy snow at least. Then the final thing I wanted to tell you about is my DigiStamp that I'm releasing, but they're basically on my website, but I'm release them 1 week at the time and give you some inspiration. So if you're interested, please head over to my blog, and you can find the link to my Etsy shop. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you find it interesting, and have a great day. Bye.